so painful that some people in this world seem to think that I would have it in me to do.
Jury duly impaneled and sworn, and the above entitled action, upon our oaths, do find the defendant as to count 1, first-degree murder, guilty. 5.
On June 4, 2008, Travis Victor Alexander, an American salesman, was brutally murdered by his ex-girlfriend Jodi Ann Arias in his home in Mesa, Arizona. The shocking and grisly nature of the crime captivated the nation, and the subsequent trial was a media sensation. Alexander was found in his shower, having suffered multiple stab wounds, a gunshot to the head, and a slit throat. The brutality of the crime painted a gruesome picture that would haunt those who followed the case. Jodi Arias, born on July 9, 1980, was eventually arrested and charged with first-degree murder. The trial began in January 2013 and quickly became a media circus. Arias's defense team claimed that she had killed Alexander in self-defense, but the evidence presented by the prosecution told a different story. Text messages, emails, and photographs revealed a tumultuous and toxic relationship between Arias and Alexander, filled with jealousy, obsession, and manipulation. On May 8, 2013, after months of testimony and deliberation, the jury found Jodi Arias guilty of first-degree murder.
Duly impaneled and sworn, and the above entitled action, upon our oaths, do find the defendant as to count 1, first-degree murder, guilty. 5 jurors find premeditated, 0 find felony murder, 7 find both premeditated and felony. Signed, foreperson. Is this your true verdict, so say you want it all?
The courtroom was filled with tension and anticipation as the verdict was read. Arias, who had appeared calm and composed throughout much of the trial, showed a range of emotions in the moments following the announcement. As the judge began to read the verdict, the air in the courtroom grew thick with anticipation. The jury had been deliberating for days, and both sides had presented compelling arguments. When the word guilty was finally uttered, the silence was deafening. Arias's face, previously stoic and expressionless, contorted with a mixture of shock and disbelief. Her eyes widened and she appeared to mouth the word no in silent protest. In the gallery, Travis Alexander's family and friends burst into tears, clutching each other in a mixture of relief and sorrow. They had waited nearly 5 years for justice, and the moment was overwhelming. Arias, meanwhile, seemed to struggle to process the reality of her situation. Her hands trembled, and she appeared to be fighting back tears. Reporters outside the courthouse relayed the news to the public, and reactions poured in from across the nation. The case had become a symbol of the darker side of human relationships, and many felt a sense of vindication that Arias would be held accountable for her actions. Following the guilty verdict, the trial moved into the penalty phase, where the jury would decide whether Arias would receive the death penalty or life in prison. Arias took the stand once more, pleading for her life and expressing remorse for her actions. She claimed that she had acted in self-defense and that she had never meant to kill Alexander. However, the jury was unconvinced. On April 13, 2015, Jodi Arias was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The sentence marked the end of a long and painful journey for Travis Alexander's family and friends, who had endured years of anguish and uncertainty. In the moments leading up to her sentencing, Arias appeared more subdued than she had during the trial. Her once defiant demeanor had given way to a quiet resignation. As the judge handed down the sentence, Arias looked down, avoiding eye contact with anyone in the courtroom. She seemed to accept her fate with a sense of inevitability. Outside the courthouse, reactions to the sentence were mixed. Some felt that justice had been served and that Arias would spend the rest of her life paying for her crime. Others believed that the death penalty would have been a more fitting punishment for the brutality of her actions. In the years since her sentencing, Jodi Arias has remained a figure of public fascination. Her case has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and television specials. Despite her incarceration, Arias has continued to assert her innocence and maintain that she acted in self-defense. The murder of Travis Alexander and the subsequent trial of Jodi Arias serve as a stark reminder of the capacity for violence and the devastating consequences of toxic relationships. For Alexander's family and friends, the guilty verdict and life sentence brought a measure of closure, but the pain of their loss will never fully heal. The case stands as a testament to the importance of recognizing and addressing the warning signs of abusive and dangerous behavior before it escalates to tragedy.